Oh, we are live. Hello, friends. I'm getting later and later with my start. I had an 11 o'clock appointment that, as always, sometimes we go long. So thankfully, we're having a recording of this, and you can watch this at your leisure. I want to thank you for tuning in or seeing this on delay, the recording, that is. I am Dr. Graves, Dr. G, or the Keto ND. Thanks for visiting the live stream or my page. What I try to do is present nutritional, naturopathic, and functional medicine concepts that can help improve your life. I also talk about physical exercise and the low-carb ketogenic diet and the many benefits of that. So today I'll be keeping this brief, and I'm putting a note here to please ask your questions if you are stumbling upon this. And as always, if you watch it, you can comment below later as well. So I am on my last week of dairy-free for 30 days. So I wanted to start out by talking about that just a little bit. Also going to quickly put a, how do I share? It's gonna let me, I'm going to share this to Facebook really quick. So stand by. It's been interesting. I said to go 30 days with no dairy. I've only done that once before. Okay, so got that muted. Let me pause that. All right, so as any of you who have been watching any of my videos know or saw my Facebook feed, I decided about 3 weeks ago to go dairy-free for 30 days. What prompted this has to do with, I guess, a couple of things. One is that I did a discussion on the problems with dairy foods. And I also have a lot of patients who I ask and recommend that they make changes. Some people who are very allergic to certain foods have to do very strict elimination diets for long periods of time. And I try to help them do that. I also like to be able to have experienced that to know what that's like. Also, I like to change it up and I wanted to evaluate how well I would feel, if any, different off of dairy. One of the things that can happen when you eliminate a food for a while is that your body will kind of down-regulate the immune suppression that actually masks some of the food sensitivities that many people have. And so if you eliminated a food, so for instance, wheat and dairy are two common ones. If you eliminate those and it has to be a long enough period of time, probably a minimum is 3 to 4 weeks, if not more like 5 or 6. That would be for people who we know have known dairy allergies. So when you reintroduce those foods, though, you want to do that very carefully and intentionally. So for instance, what I'll do in a week is I'm going to reintroduce some dairy, and I'm going to pick the dairy that I miss the most. So I'm not really worried about butter. I don't think butter or clarified butter is allergenic for most people. It's pretty much the butter fat. With dairy, you're pretty much, if you're having allergies to dairy, it's the protein part of dairy. So that would be, cheese, and it could be yogurt, it could be milk, it could be ice cream. But butter and heavy cream have very little of the milk left. Of course, clarified butter is going to be almost 100% free of any dairy allergen. So I will be reintroducing butter. I will be adding in a couple of types of cheeses probably. I'm going to do that probably one cheese at a time. And then I'll also get back to my Greek yogurt that I miss so much and reintroducing that. So as far as how I've been feeling, I wouldn't say that I've really noticed anything other than deprivation because dairy has been, I don't eat a lot of dairy, but it is a foundation part of my diet in that it kind of fills in some protein. I don't like to eat and prepare meat all the time. And so I like to have variety. So I eat eggs, I like meats, I like fish, poultry, red meats, and I like the high-fat dairy and some of the better cheeses that are available. And so I clearly was eating cheese about once or twice a day. And last time I did a full dairy-free was for 3 weeks in probably 2011, so quite a while ago. A couple of things, though, that were going on at the same time that I cut out dairy. One is that I got a respiratory infection, which had nothing to do with eliminating dairy. And it may have helped being off the dairy through it. I got over it in a pretty normal fashion, but I do a lot of things to help my body do that. I got it from my kids. It was running through the house. I got a little worn out. Also with the weather change, I was out. It was after a cyclocross race where it was a little cooler weather, and I think I just got worn down. And anyway, but being off of milk, especially when you get sick, can help cut down on mucus production. So I think if you got a lot of the junk that comes on from an upper respiratory infection, definitely don't want to be drinking milk. You might do some yogurt and butter and maybe some cheese a bit, but I'll definitely not be drinking milk by the glass, which, by the way, I'm not. I don't ever do that. Maybe once a year, the kids, we get like some good raw milk from Pure Ire Farm, one of our local dairies. The kids love it, usually drink most of it, and then I might get a little bit. So, but as far as strategies to get by and to be able to eat, I think what's been really absolutely essential is that, especially for my bulletproof coffee and tea, is that I'm using a vegan butter from Trader Joe's, and I've mentioned that, and I think I posted some pictures. Really whole ingredients. It's got a coconut oil base, no weird funky chemicals in there. There's no soy. It is slightly salted, which is different for me because I prefer unsalted butter, but I was putting that in MCT in my coffee, and I'm actually getting to the point where I could have this all the time. Using it as a butter to spread on was great. I have a keto bagel that I've made, and I've been having that in the mornings. I toast it and put the vegan butter on it. The other product from the same company, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but again, you can find it at the Trader Joe's, at least here in our neck of the woods. It is a cream cheese. And again, they use like cashew, coconut oil, I think, and some other ingredients. It has a much more intense flavor than probably a regular plain cream cheese, but I've also liked it. It's actually as close to cheese as you can get. So I've been going through those probably every week. I'll go through a container of that stuff. So again, the vegan cream cheese. So I'm not a vegan, and I don't plan on staying dairy free, but I am going to pick and choose, hopefully, the dairy, the quality I'm going to tolerate better. So watch my other video on the issues with dairy if you'd like to learn more about why I'm doing this. So I'll keep you posted as I reintroduce next Monday. Looking forward to it, going into the holidays. So I'll be having a cheese party. So let's see. Also, just as a quick reminder, I have a upcoming event. Really, it's a live video stream support series that I'll be doing on Thursdays. And I've set that time. I believe when do I have that set? Starting Thursdays at 12:15. Oh, I got to change that. It says 12:15 a.m. That is clearly not correct. It needs to say 12:15 p.m. So the same time I do my streaming on Tuesdays, beginning on November 15th and running for 1 month. So kind of through the heart of the onset of the holidays is I'm going to be doing the Keto Diet support for non-responders. And I just wanted to briefly explain what I'm going to be covering and what that even means. So the ketogenic diet, as I believe, is a very, very helpful and therapeutic diet for many, many reasons. And it's very applicable to almost every human being on the planet. It's primarily being promoted now as a diet for weight loss, as well as it's also circulating in the athletic community as well. So bodybuilders and things like that. It is applicable to both those groups. And what I'm finding, though, is a lot of the support information I'm seeing online is there's a lot of misinformation And ever since about 3 years ago, when I got into the ketogenic diet, there's also a growing group of people who become very frustrated because all of the stories and success and posts and Facebook of people losing all this weight, and you have these individuals who are trying to do the diet and they're not seeing the same results. And so part of my practice has been actually to help those people clinically deal with that and find out how we can get them to respond. So non-responders, it's aimed at people who've tried to go low carb and it's not working for you. So we're going to do some troubleshooting. It certainly is, it's going to be a very applicable series to do if you're thinking of just going in and starting a ketogenic diet. You don't have to be a non-responder. We don't want anybody to be a non-responder. Non-responder is what I'm meaning by that is that you're not seeing the results that are supposed to happen when you're doing the diet. And so I will be laying out in detail what are the top reasons that people don't see success on the ketogenic diet. And there's just a few that are typically the issue and are definitely something we can typically overcome with individuals so they see success. So mark your calendars. Hope you can join us again Thursdays at 12:15 starting November 15th and running every Thursday for 4 weeks. If you can't join us live, they will be available on my YouTube channel, the Keto ND. It's got a long address, so I'll post a link. Or if you're stumbling onto this video, you already know where it is. So ahead of that, if you're interested in certain topics or you want to tell me why or what problems you're having with the keto diet, go ahead and start to post those as well. We do have a Keto Club group on Facebook. I encourage you to join that if you are interested in the community support that we have with that particular approach. So that's it for now. I think I'm going to keep this to about a 15-minute stroll here. We were late, of course, starting, but thanks for watching as always. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to get alerts on new video posts. And as always, I appreciate questions and comments. And a thumbs up always helps too. So we'll see you next time and stay tuned.